off with my life, till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ, and he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call them Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. Flex on occasion. It's the strangest of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them terrorists coming invasion since the creation. War, mind, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time again. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know why and press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? T.K. Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa! Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
Is on. Mics ain't never on. 1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir.
Kick.
Mics up.
Here we go. There we Hey.
Check.
Hey, yes. Hey. Is out again. Okay, there it is. Seems like we got a short or something. Hey, shalom, family. Most High Christ bless y'all all. Pray all is well. All right, we are the Nehemiah squad. Yes, there we go. We finally on. We are the Nehemiah squad. All right, so we're going to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Captain Zakai.
Hey. It's Officer Shim. Yeah, Officer Judah.
Okay. Yes, sir. Hey, so let's throw that thumbnail back up there, y'all. All right, so today's show is called Before the Holocaust. All right, the African genocide they don't teach, right? Because there was another Holocaust that happened before that nobody knows about, right?
Right.
And our special guest today is Jephtha and Nguherimo, right? But before we bring them out, okay, we want to show you guys something, right? So now this takes place in the continent of Africa, right? In a country known today as Namibia. Okay, bring up that Google map real quick. Okay, because we want to make sure that when we're referencing these places that people understand what happened, where the place is actually geographically, and then what it was back then, right? During the times of the late 1800s going into the early 1900s, right? You guys have that? Okay. Zoom in. Right? Yeah, we got to give geography lessons because, sometimes the educational system is not great.
They failed it.
Yeah. All right. So just pull back out a bit so people can see actually where it says Namibia. Right there. Stop right there. All right. So you see Namibia, right, on the west coast of Africa, right? Right above. Can you please put that back up? What is going on? Right above South Africa, okay, and to the west of Botswana, right? You have also Zimbabwe, and above is Zambia. Right now, we're going to show you something right now. Back in the later 1800s, you had what was known as the Scramble for Africa, right? Where all the European countries chopped up Africa and took over, okay, and colonized to do what? To rob, to steal, to pillage, right? So bring that up. Bring up that next map. All right. Bring up that next map. Okay. Okay. So right here it says, just leave it right there for a second. Don't zoom in yet. Off to the left it says the colonization of Africa by Europeans. Okay. Zoom in. We want to make sure everybody sees this, right? Okay. To the left is what we're interested in. It says colonization of Africa by Europeans, possessions up to 1884, right? So they have that graph showing you Britain, France, Portugal, Spain, and Italy had broken up Africa, right, up until that time. Then from 84 to 1922, right, which is the time span we're going to be discussing today with our guest, right, you'll see all of the countries that got involved. We had a couple more people that got involved, right, a couple more governments that got involved, right? And at the bottom, you'll see something that says the German possessions assigned as mandates, right? Now, when you look on that map, we're going to focus on the map now, where it said Namibia. Now you see something that says Southwest Africa, German Southwest Africa. That's what they had named it at that time, right? So we wanted to show you where Namibia was and show you what they were calling it back then, right? You had Northern Rhodesia off to your right, Southern Rhodesia, which is no longer called those names, right? You have Zambia, so on and so forth, right? And Botswana, which they were calling Buchan Alan Proctorate. This is German stuff. The Germans took over, right? So it was important that we show you this before we start to get into today's show, right? And for those of you who don't know what the scramble for Africa was, right? Please bring it up. All right, so everybody's clear on what we're about to discuss today, right? So there's no misunderstanding of what took place during that time, okay? All right, hey, Officer Matthias, please read that.
All right, 1 2 1 2. The scramble for Africa. The scramble for Africa was the invasion, conquest, and colonization of most of Africa by 7 Western European powers, driven by the Second Industrial Revolution during the late 19th century and early 20th century in the era of new imperialism.
Right.
Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, Spain, and the United Kingdom were the contending powers.
Right. We're going to stop right there. So that's what we wanted to show you, brothers and sisters, right, what the term, the scramble for Africa was, okay? So this is how you, and we'll get into it later, right, how you found all of those diamond mines and all this kind of stuff in all of the theft that went on from Africa, that it wasn't just a happenstance, right? It was something that they put together and they really thought out, right? So now, just bring up the bio for our guest real quick, and then we're going to bring on our guest, and we're going to get deep into the conversation of what happened in Namibia, how the Germans went in and formed what you guys know today as the Nazis, and what they did in Auschwitz and all of that, where all of that, those techniques started, okay? All right, we're just going to read a couple of the first lines, Officer.
All right. Jephtha Nguherimo is a lifelong activist, poet, and a former professional labor negotiator of Herero descent based in the U.S.
Right.
He was born in the village of Okanjokomukona, Namibia, in 1963, to a family of peasants. He engaged in the resistance struggle during Namibia's colonial apartheid era and spent many years as a political refugee in Botswana and Kenya. In 1987, as a political refugee, he was awarded a prestigious scholarship from the Bishop Desmond Tutu Scholarship Fund to study at the University of Rochester, New York, where he earned a B.S. in philosophy and international political economy. In 1997, he received an M.S. in labor studies from the University of Massachusetts, Amherst. An accomplished labor negotiator, he worked as a union representative and recently retired from Maryland State Education Association.
All right, great. So let us bring on our guest, Jephtha. Where are you, bro, my brother? Where are you? There you go.
I'm in Namibia right now.
Oh, you're in Namibia. Okay, excellent, excellent. How you doing, Jephtha? It's good to meet you.
I'm doing well. Good to meet you guys.
All right, excellent, excellent. So, like we said, we saw the documentary that Al Jazeera did, right, with you guys. And so please discuss with us, tell us from the beginning what happened there in Namibia with your people and the Nama people as well.
Well, as you earlier described in your conversation about the scramble for Africa, in Namibia was the colonized, so-called colonized by the Germans, and they name it German Southwest Africa. And of course, my tribe, the Hereros and Nama, were established as a community, independent community with their own leadership and governance. They had their own trading system with South Africans and other people passing by through Namibia. But the Germans found at the time they wanted the living space for their population. So they went to Cameroon, Togo, Tanzania, Burundi, I think Rwanda, and then Namibia. So of course, when they came to Namibia, they came with nothing, and in terms of their possessions, the Hereros own land, they own cattle, and so were the Namas to a certain extent. And it's a farming country at the time. So they got engaged with, started trading or with the Hereros and Namas, mostly Hereros, and eventually they started taking over the land, buying it on the pretext of buying it or selling sugar, and then they end up having with a 10 hectares of land. And most of the Germans who came to Namibia were men, and they didn't have women, of course. So their interaction with the Hereros were started touching on the women of the Hereros and raping them, and so taking land away and buying cattle, buying or deceiving or employing deceptive trading mechanism.
Stealing.
So
I was saying they were stealing.
Oh, yeah, of course they were stealing and
Right.
robbing. I mean them, and so there was nothing like fair in that trade.
Right.
And so, of course, it's a proud Hereros, and in our case, when they started touching, raping our women, the men called to their leader, Samuel Maharero, basically was like, if they start raping our women, if they are raping our women, who are we as men? What is the future of a Herero man? Then they will start taking over the land. So
Right.
the people resisted, and then they started the fight.
That's right.
Of course, I mean, we started the fight, and we fought a long, they fought a long war, not a long in terms of the duration, like 8 months, and the Germans were losing completely. And so the Germans in Berlin, I mean, the chancellor or whatever said, like, okay, you guys need to stop, we need to find a way to negotiate. However, that was not the tactic. The tactic was to try to bring German reinforcement to Namibia, troops and ammunition. And so, but the Herals were expecting that there was going to be a treaty negotiation. So the final battle took place at Waterberg, near just only 100 kilometers from where I am. And it was the war. I mean, it's a fight that started at 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock. But the Herals ran out of the ammunition because they didn't have any resupply of their weapons. So they retreated. And the general that was sent to Namibia to fight this war was General von Trotter. And he was really frustrated in the sense that he couldn't defeat the Herals militarily. So, but he was military strategic to push them towards the Omaheke area where there is nothing, no food, and it's very dry area.
Right.
So he pushed in that direction, but some people went through Botswana, but a lot of them died during the flight to towards the east, and some went to the north, and they fled. But that was not enough for him. He wanted to exterminate them. So as they fled, of course, the Germans were like, they were on horses. So they, whenever the heroes dig wells during the flood, the Germans would come and put poison in the water. So a lot of people died because it was, they were thirsty. Yeah. And after that, the Germans in Namibia said, like, well, you cannot, it's unfair to kill people like this, not because they're moral, it's a moral issue, because where are we going to get labor from this if you kill all of them?
Right.
So, yeah, that was their intention. And so they said, okay, now everybody need to be rounded up. And that was the Germans started their first concentration camps ever. It was in Namibia.
Right.
And
real
so
quick,
they
Jephtha,
rounded up.
Jephtha, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before you get there, right? It's important that
Yeah.
we key in on that, because their real intention was to destroy your people completely, to kill everybody. That's what they wanted to do.
What I did mention, and even look it up, the General von Trotter issued an extermination order, meaning that he wrote that all the heroes and children and women who should be shot to death should be killed, because he was really angry. And so he issued an extermination order. It says like Vernichtung Befehl in German. So he issued that. And of course, you cannot exterminate everybody, but they rounded them up and put them, they had like probably like 25 or 30 concentration camps, some major ones, some mini ones, where
25 to 30
were uses.
Wow.
Yeah, there were many all over the country. So, but the major ones were in Windhoek, where currently the Namibian parliament is built, and one was called in the Shark Island, the brutal one, and one in Swakopmund. The Shark Island is more prominent because this is where Egon Fischer, a German professor who specialized in race theory, you read about Egon Fischer. He did his studies on a medical experiment on the over Herero.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Namas.
And let me just make sure we state this as well, right? So as Mr. Jephtha is talking, brothers and sisters, the Herero and the Nama were two separate tribes, right? Two separate families, right?
Yeah.
And
in the central of Namibia.
Right, in the central of Namibia. So when the Germans came now, these two got together and fought against the Germans. These were the two primary groups that were fighting the Germans and fighting them hard.
Yes.
And like you said, they were losing to a degree because they're on your land.
Yes.
They were getting hit. The Herero would run back, go get quiet. The Nama would get quiet. They didn't know what to do. And that's how they started to cut off water supply, grab all the food, and then eventually be able to catch them and bring them to those concentration camps. So I just want to make sure that's clear. And we're gonna get into something with Dr. Fisher a little bit later on, because all this stuff is very important. I don't want to skip by anything because the people do not know about this history. I'm telling you right now, they don't know. Because even when I saw it a couple of months ago, that was my first time hearing about it. And I was like, and we're into a lot of history.
Yeah.
We know a lot of history. So to miss that is huge. So I just want to show something. We're going to go to the documentary, and we're going to please start me at 1 minute and 40 seconds, brothers. I just want to show a little bit of it to get the people to know to watch it, number one, and just to get this little piece of information. Okay.
You see on the background over here, that's the Namib Desert. The sand will come and bury everything. But for some reason, the sand, the dunes refuse to bury these people because their spirits are strong and they want their story to be told. We are in the Swakopmund Cemetery. In my background is the people who died in the concentration camp.
In this desert and across Namibia, between 1904 and 1908, German colonial forces displaced and killed up to 80% of the Herero tribe.
Hit pause for a second. 80% of the Herero tribe were killed. Like, this is heavy stuff. This is some, and they call it a concentration camp that eventually, but this is some concentrated killing that's going on here. Some real evil. But hit play.
1904 and 1908, German colonial forces displaced and killed up to 80% of the Herero tribe, as many as 80,000 people. Other ethnic groups like the Nama and the San also suffered grievously at the hands of the colonizers. 10,000 Nama died, half their population, as well as an unknown number of San. This is widely considered as the first genocide of the 20th century. In many ways, Imperial Germany's treatment of the indigenous people of Namibia foreshadowed the barbarity of the Nazi Holocaust against the Jews and other groups during World War II.
Right. Hit pause. I just wanted the people here, we can drop the video for now. I just wanted the people to understand that it's a foregone conclusion that this was the first time that the Nazis were actually perpetrating this type of evil in regards to concentration camp and the killing, the genociding of a people, right? Because generally when we hear about it, we hear about the people that it happened to over in Auschwitz, and that's supposed to be the genocide, you know, in X, Y, and Z. But this history has never been taught. This history is not taught in any schools, definitely not here in the United States. And you live in the United States. You know this. You've been in education, and you know it's not being taught here at all, right?
Yes.
So talk to us about, now, once they get them to the concentration camps, right? Then from there, well, let's go back a bit. Because I want the people to understand that your family personally was involved in this. You're not just a freedom fighter and you have no skin in the game. Your people. So talk to us about your personal family.
Of course, my personal story is like 80% of the Hereros, their families were systematically killed, and some survived because that's why I'm here. And my great-grandmother survived when they trekked through the Omaheke. She ran after the Battle of Waterberg. She went with her grandmother, with her mother. And at certain point, like 200 kilometers, the grandmother was too tired to walk. And so the brother, meaning my great-grandmother's uncle, said, like, okay, you kids try to go ahead. Go ahead. I'll try to help my sister out. But at that point, the sister was too weak and they were too tired and hungry. So they just left her under a tree. So later, when they reconnected with my great-grandmother, the great-grandmother asked her uncle, like, where's my mom? And the uncle said, like, well, we tried our best. And she says, where's my mom? And she said, oh, we left her under a tree. And she said, like, you mean you left my mother under a tree to die like that? Was she alive? Yes, she was alive. And when you read the Blue Book, with the German confession and the Herero confession, what happened to those who were left behind, children and women, you are not going to believe what they did. And sometimes they will just put a lot of dry grass around them and burn them to death. And so
they would burn them to
my
death.
great-grandmother.
So they would find them alive and then burn them to death.
Burn them to death. And the General Fonseca said, like, I don't want to waste my bullets on these monkeys, just burn them. And so this is like documentation that what they did. So, and when you ask me about my personal story, I always thought about, like, man, what happened to my great-grandmother? Was she burned alive? Or,
right.
So, but the daughter survived and went to the concentration camps. And when she survived, she's at Shark Island. And they survived, but then that's how she came to tell the story, what happened to the people. and now may God is on their side and the spirit of the ancestors. So that's why we are here. We survive to tell the stories of our people. And of course, you mentioned about the Nazis. Most of the people who were involved, German soldiers who were involved in this genocide, their grandchildren or their children were involved, were active members of the Nazis.
That's right.
And if you go today in Hamburg, you will find the barracks and streets that were named after those people who committed genocide in Namibia. So, and even Hitler, when he was praising or energizing his generals, he was teaching them to emulate the generals, colonial generals like von Trotter.
See that?
And so it is a well-known fact to Germans, and it's just a suppressed history, unfortunately, like all other history in the world. I mean, atrocities.
Right. Because that's what they always do with our people. Whatever they do with us, they cover it because we're supposed to be the subspecies. So it doesn't matter what they do to us. And I'm gonna tell you the real reason they hide it is because they're continuing to do it. It's systemic, right? And as we continue to speak today, you're gonna for the audience, you already know, Jephtha, but for the audience, Namibia is still under that same imperialism, but it's on a different level, right? I just want to read something, right? Give me Isaiah 14:21. I want to read something because you mentioned something. You said that the grandchildren of those generals, right, were the Nazis, right, and doing what they did in Auschwitz and other places, because they not only had those Europeans in the concentration camps, but they had other black people in those even in Auschwitz and over there. They were doing all type of medical experiments and everything. This is documented, right? And the Bible says something about this. Not about that per se, but about these people. Read that, 14:21. Watch this.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21.
Oh, yeah.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Right.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Right. The Bible says prepare slaughter for his children because of the iniquity of their fathers. Why? Because the fathers have taught it and it's going down the chain. So even today, if they're not having anybody in concentration camps, but everything they're stealing from the land, right? They haven't given anything back. And we're going to get into that. But I just want to show the people that it hasn't ended. The same thing all around the world with our people. It has not ended, you know. But please, I'm going to show one more thing out of your out of the documentary, right? Brothers, just bring that up, please. I think it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds. If you can bring that up, real quick.
He traveled from the capital Windhoek to Okahanja to meet the acting chief of the Herero.
The Hereros were sent to these remote areas to serve as a labor pool for the white communities or white industrialists.
All right, pause for a second, right? So brothers and sisters, so now when the Germans came, they had these outposts where they were so-called settlers, right? So they were bringing in their people to live on the land. So now the Herero were now put there as a labor force for them. Okay, and in this documentary, this is where Jephtha is traveling to. Okay, hit play.
To serve as a labor pool for the white communities or white industrialists. The present and the past is hard to distinguish, in particular in these areas.
Vipiura Kapuo was the acting chief of the Ova Herero Traditional Authority, which represents most Herero in Namibia.
Aminguta hii akura kuchairi nawa mshibeshe kucha agreement ndo pakatiko ba kodoro benda lembali potia ete mshambutata mshitiro ya twatha kuliro rupa.
Hit pause. So now what happens here now is Germany, and I'm going to let Jephtha speak to it, right? But Germany has so-called come out and said, yes, we were in the wrong. We shouldn't have done this. And now, and this is where Jephtha comes in because the people are fighting for reparations, right, from what was taken from them. But now Germany is saying that we can only negotiate with another government. We can't negotiate with a particular people, right? And this is what the chief is talking about, and saying that those two governments are now trying to come up with some kind of plan of action of how to pay the money back. But the Herero have to be involved, right? Because they're the ones that suffered the most. I mean, the whole country has suffered, but they have suffered the most, right? So let's drop the video and let's let Jephtha, you can speak to this much more deeply.
Yeah, I mean, this struggle, I mean, started. We have been demanding reparations for many years, but the offshoot was after the Durban conference. It was 20 something years ago, right? That's when they started demanding, Herero leadership started demanding for reparation directly, confronting Germany.
Right.
And it's not that the Germans decided one day to offer reparation. They were embarrassed because we have done some activism within Germany, within Namibia, and to expose the genocide that they have been hiding to their population and to the world. And so once, even when you were in Germany, people were asking, like, how come we never learned this in school? We thought only the Jewish we only taught about the Holocaust. How come we never knew about this? And even some of them said that we never knew that Germany had colonies. And so this is about what you're talking about, the extent of hiding information from its own, from the population. And but eventually, as you know, when Namibia got independence, one of the first statements the German government issued was like, Germany has historic and moral and political responsibility towards Namibia. Mind you, was a political statement meant that you have sizable population of Germans here who own lots of land. You won't believe it. Even 30 to 40 people, 40 farmers are foreigners, absentee farmers from Germany who never even set foot in Namibia. They own just those farms for their own hunting. So the Germans are like, we have historic and moral responsibility. And what that meant and what did that mean is that we are going to give development assistance to Namibia. Of course, Namibia doesn't need development assistance from Germany, but it was a way to co-opt them politically,
right?
So that the voices of the Dama and Hovairo people stifled in their demands for reparations. So that's why the chief is talking about, like, we forced the Parliament of Namibia to engage with Germany, but as observers at the negotiating table. But Germany told the Namibian government that we don't negotiate with tribes. We can only negotiate with governments. But what they offer is like $1.1 billion over 20 years. And to the community over 20, it was over 30 years at the time, sorry.
Wow.
And we said no. And that's equate to like $50 million a year. What is that? And so we say we don't want, we want reparation. And so our government, of course, wanted to say this is the best deal that you can ever get. And we are still saying no. We want Germany to account for the genocide, acknowledge, apologize, and to come and sit down with us. And we have our own demands. And land in Namibia is very expensive now. Just because of that,
really,
we don't own land. Maybe you read about that German guy who now they are saying that's not the land never belonged to the Hereros, but all the farms in the Germans own today have Herero names.
Of course.
Historically,
I have to bring this up because this is one of my favorite parts of the documentary when you spoke to the German farmer. I wanted to be there with you when you spoke to this guy because I saw your face. I said, "Oh man, I wish I was with you."
Oh my God.
Hey, please go to 17 minutes. I know I asked for something else, but go to 17 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, we have to go there. We have to show this part because this leads directly into what Jephtha's talking about. Because what they did was they steal, and this is the same thing here in the United States, right? They came, stole all the land. Right now, you have the Black Americans looking for reparations, right? Because of all the atrocities that were done. And what do you get? You're getting a bunch of talk. It's never going to happen, right? The same thing that happened. We're going to show it's the same exact thing that happened in Namibia happened here, right? Exactly. When the Germans went to Namibia, right? They destroyed the people and then forced them to build railroads. That's the same thing they did in the United States, forced them to build railroads, took away the land from the Native Americans, built it, and then had the black slaves working it and working it and working it. Now when everybody wants something, they're saying, well, you know, I don't know if we can do that. I don't know. This is like you said, the Germans said, this is the best deal you're going to get. Really? Unbelievable. But I'm sorry. We're just going to show. You guys have it? Please. Volume, please. Volume, brothers. Volume. Volume.
Would be seen in an...
Melba says if reparations were paid to Namibia, that might set a legal precedent.
Then these rulings would be seen in another light, and then it would become really expensive for Germany.
Oh, hold on.
So
it's going to become expensive for Germany. Oh, man, we should all cry some tears. Yo, you can't make it up. You can't make this up. It's going to become expensive for Germany. Go ahead, hit play.
These rulings would be seen in another light, and then it would become really expensive for Germany.
So, with direct reparations seemingly off the table, what about the Herero demand that they should get their land, or at least some of it, returned to them? Any discussion about the return of land must involve its current owners, mostly white Namibian farmers who possess vast tracts of it. Gerd Volbling is a German Namibian who speaks fluent Herero. He owns a 15,000-hectare farm in the Waterberg, the region which used to be inhabited by the Herero until the Germans began their campaign of annihilation against them in 1904.
My great-great-grandfather came here in 1907, which was just after the German Herero War, and farming here and living in close relationship with the our Herero communities bordering to our fence, and it's very much farming related, but
pause for a second. All right, so you see how he's being very slick and cunning with his words, saying that they that they worked closely and they were the people were brought there to be your slaves, right? But now he's speaking to a Herero individual, so now he wants to clean up the conversation. He wants to clean it up, but there's no cleaning this up. Hit play.
The our Herero communities bordering to our fence, and it's very much farming related, but of course it brings together our different cultures as well.
But when it comes to addressing the past, Volbling, like other white German Namibian farmers in the region, deny that this land used to belong to the Herero.
Huh? This land was 100 years before that, it was not inhabited by Herero-speaking people, to the knowledge I do have.
Wow. Hit pause. You see, this is this man. He's the same in every country he's in. Yes. He's gonna steal, then he's gonna lie. He's going to murder and then lie. He's going to say that 100 years previous that it did not belong to the Herero people. Yeah. How does he know this?
Yeah, according to the knowledge that he has.
The knowledge he has is all lies.
You don't have no knowledge.
Right.
You know, this man is he's the same from ancient biblical days.
Yeah, never changed.
Never
changes. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into it.
He said it was not inhabited.
Right. It wasn't inhabited.
He's a liar.
This is ridiculous. Meanwhile, he speaks fluent Herero.
That's what they said about America.
Exactly.
They discovered it.
Right.
Like people weren't here.
This is annoying, but you got to see this part. I'm sorry, Jephtha. I need to let them see this part. And then you're going to speak. Fine. Go ahead, hit play.
No, that's right.
100 years before that, it was not inhabited by Herero-speaking people, to the knowledge I do have.
While touring the farm, Jephtha raises the land issue.
I don't think just buying land and giving it back will improve the situation dramatically. I doubt that one. I think we have to develop the area. We have to develop the people, investing in a better.
Hell yeah. You heard that? We have to develop the people. No, you don't. All you got to do is leave.
That's it.
You destroyed the
that
people.
Would be great for you to pick up your family with whatever wealth you made. Right? We'll let you leave with that and get out of here.
Yeah.
It's easy to do this. This is not a like we gotta teach. You gotta teach the Herero what? This is annoying. Hit play.
The situation dramatically. I doubt that one. I think we have to develop the area. We have to develop the people, investing in a better tomorrow, like education and infrastructure, schools and hospitals.
Oh yeah.
That people really feel
run by Germans.
that their life is improving.
Jephtha wants to know
Their
if
life
they
will
can reach a
improve.
common understanding about the past.
Do you deny that there was a genocide, or you don't deny it? I mean, you.
I don't question the harm which was done to our Herero people. Yeah, they lost many of their land. They lost almost all their cattle, and they lost half, let's say, half of the population.
Yet Volbling doesn't believe the mass murder of Herero was sanctioned by the government of the time.
If there would have been the initial thought of eradicating a certain tribe, but there was not an intention and the relationship.
There was not intention. Okay, you know what? We're done. Hey,
Yeah.
drop that.
That's why you
Jephtha.
talk to these people, man.
No, you can't. It's ridiculous. And when I watched it, I think I rewinded that part about 3 times because every time I watched it again, Jephtha, I thought you were going to grab his throat. I said maybe I missed something.
I wanted to
Yeah, I was like, wow. It was just like, I was like beyond, like, I didn't know. I wanted to walk out and that's it.
Yeah.
If I was not with those cameramen and all those, I don't know what I would have done, but it's just like
I'm telling you.
terrible. I mean, the arrogance of that
Yes.
farmer,
Oh, God.
and that they're going to develop us, and it's not appropriate to give back our land. It's
Right.
just that's the German thinking in Namibia. The Germans think like that it's their land.
Oh man, Jephtha, I'm telling you, and we in the Americas there wasn't Germans, right? You had the British, you had the French, you had the Spanish. They all had the same thought process as the
Same.
Germans, the exact same thing.
Yep.
And that's and even the scramble for Africa. When you see all those places, the only name you didn't see there was the United States.
Right.
But they were involved.
Yes.
They were always and they're always involved. They're always involved.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Yeah.
but they all have the same mindset and the same thing you talked about with the how proud he was about it. Like he didn't feel any way.
Yes.
He's like, oh yeah,
No.
I don't think that giving back the land is going to help anything. I think it's going to help a lot.
No.
Yeah,
In
it is.
his opinion.
Yeah, in his opinion,
Yeah.
we need
In
education.
opinion.
Education. Jeffrey, you have education. what are we talking about right now? Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And they keep buying land, but they say land is not important, but they keep buying land.
Right. And who are they buying this land from?
It's just like an old established system. They have the Germans have these networks that they
Right.
can sell to someone in Germany,
Oh,
and for lots of money. And I don't know whether it's camouflage, just like relatives owning or transfer, but they own a lot of tracts of land
right.
in Namibia that they feel that it belongs to them. And even when you speak to them, they will tell you like, oh, we had this farm and it has been in the family for 100 years. 100 years means that's the time they took land away from the Hereros.
Right.
Right.
But they feel that's the land. Yeah. So it is. And the government, after independence, that was central demand during the liberation struggle, return our land or taking our land away from people, from the whites, even including white South Africans. But after independence, the independence of Namibia was negotiated through these United Nations. Western countries were prominent in that negotiation. And then the new government, which was radical at the time, agreed that there is not going to be any confiscation of the land. It will be the willing buyer, willing seller. So once they realized that, okay, willing seller, willing buyer, then the Germans, of course, the white elites, shot up the price of lands that beyond any black person can afford.
That's right.
And so even the government confiscation will be meaningless because you have to buy the land at market value, which was determined by them or by the farmer. And so, since we have been 30 years and nothing have changed, They own the land, and even if you buy a farm from them, they sabotage the land. So the whole thing is a land issue
you
in
said they
Namibia.
sabotage
It's
the
a
land?
burning issue.
Jephtha, you
Oh,
said they
if you buy a
sabotage the
farm from
land?
them,
How so?
oh yeah, if you buy a farm from them, some of my friends, they will say, okay, with these facilities, equipment, and you sign your contract or whatever it is, the papers, business paper, by the time you come back, they have already removed the palms from
Really?
sometimes into some in some country, I mean some certain extents instance they have even poisoned the trees and the plants that they
Really?
don't, if them, yeah, if there was a apple growing, the apple trees don't grow anymore. So you have these stories, many of them, it just it is not a good situation. So you have to start from the beginning, put new palms while there was facilities in there. So it's just part of the system of sabotaging for a black farmer not to thrive.
Right.
And then, of course, now the new government is Namibia is one. If you Google right now, Namibia is one. It's second to South Africa, one of the country with highest inequality. It comes all over the world.
Right.
Come
Right.
number 4, if you number 4, and so that's the world's distribution in Namibia. White and black elites now, but mostly
Right.
white
Right.
who own that. So it's not much you can do with this uneven playing field in terms of farming, land ownership, and business ownership. And then now you have the new the Chinese and other people
Yes.
coming for
Yes.
exploitation of the minerals, and so
Yes.
it's just
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because but right before that, we're gonna talk about the medical experiments that were taking place under Fisher and Shark Island and everything else. But when I saw the documentary, and I remember speaking to you before, and I saw the documentary, I said to myself, wait a minute, this is my first time hearing about this, but I'm not hearing about any wealth being removed from the country per se other than agriculture. I said it can't be that. It has to be something else. Got to be minerals. I looked at I know South Africa's right there. South Africa has diamonds and everything shooting out of the ground. I said it has to be something. As soon as I looked it up, copper, diamonds, uranium, this and that. I said, okay, that's what this is all about, right? So when you when they make a documentary like the one you were in, it's almost they're giving you something, but you're not giving you everything. Yeah. They don't really want you to know what the Germans and the rest of these white people are doing over there, because it's pure and ridiculous evil exploitation. What's happening? And we're gonna show some of that, right? Because we have to show that's incredible stuff. But I want to go to another part of the documentary to talk about the medical aspect of what was going on, because this part is heavy. Go to 20 brothers, go to 21 minutes and about 15 seconds. About 21 minutes 15 seconds, okay? Because the people have to understand the level that every country that this man goes to, right? This is the same thing that happens all over the world. It's not just the Germans, it's the French. The French were actually the most evil of all of these colonizers coming through, especially in Africa and across the world. Disgusting, right? But we're gonna just filthy. You know, people say you get filthy rich. That's because they were doing filthy things, right? You know what I mean? To get that way, you know, brothers, you have that 21 minutes, about 15 seconds. All right, please, the volume. Still don't hear anything. All right, let's make sure that volume's up. They have to hear all of this. Okay, so and this goes into the things that were happening in America also. When you had medical apartheid, where they were doing what do you call it? Experiments on the people. You had the Tuskegee experiment. You have over in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Right. You know, over in Puerto Rico, you had there's an island right off of Puerto Rico where they were sterilizing all of the women there, and these are the things that they've been doing, you know. But this here is actually the first documented cases of it, you know. Guys, what's going on? It's the same video. Sound will come back. All right.
Let me get Habakkuk 2 real quick while we pull up the video, because we have in the Bible there's 18 nations. All right, and out of these 18 nations, there's a certain nation who God despises, and that nation would like to rebrand itself. So now he's going to call himself other things other than what God called him, because if God identifies him, the whole world will know that this is the evil man that the Lord is talking about, right? So now let's rename ourselves. Let's call ourselves German. Let's call ourselves Britain. But it's the same one nation, just subdivisions of the same Edomite nation that God wrote about, right? So I'm going to read, and we see in history, right? We're talking about, we're learning about Namibia here in America today, right? But the same thing that happened in Namibia happened in America. It happened in the Caribbean islands. It happened in Cuba. It happened all over the world. And guess what? That same nation that rebranded itself is doing it under different names. But it is the Edomites. Watch this. Give me Habakkuk 2 and start at 4.
It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
The soul in this particular nation is not right. You cannot talk to him. You know what I'm saying? His soul is just not right. The natural goodness of a person, it's not in there inside of him, right?
Right.
Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Read on.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Right. So instead of not necessarily always killing, but wine makes you drunk, disoriented, right? Well, he'll lie to us. Now we're disoriented. We think he's a good person. We think he's trying to help reform the people when he's actually continuing to destroy the people, right? Read on.
He is a proud man.
He's a proud man. He think everything belongs to him. Read.
Neither keepeth at home.
He don't stay in his own land. For some reason, he has a desire to go into everybody else's land. Read.
Right. Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Anything he wants, he takes it, and it turns into hell. So like you said, they take land. Now apple trees don't grow there no more.
Right.
They take water. Now the water's destroyed there. Everywhere he goes, it dies.
Right.
God Ben wrote about this people.
Yes.
Now you see why he had to rebrand himself. Read on.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death.
Everything he touches dies. Read.
And cannot be satisfied.
He's not satisfied with Namibia. He wants all of Africa. Read.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Now they want everybody. Now, just like, let's just say Namibia. Now it's his country, and now we get to reform the people. In America, they want all nations here under them. They want the hero people to be good under them. Right? This is how he gets down. God Ben wrote about him. Read.
Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Now, all the people saying destruction to the man or the race of people that continues to increase what is not his. It is not your land. It is not your minerals. No. It's not your water.
No.
You should. Who gives a damn about your opinion on how it should be run? You don't belong here.
Right.
Right. Read on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, shall not they rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee,
right?
And thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Right. So guess what? The people are going to rise up. That's what you're feeling. That's what happened with your ancestors. They rose up at some point, right? Now, here we are again, getting ready to rise up. Now look what happens. Read on.
Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
Why are we going to rise up?
Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
They robbed many nations. They didn't just rob the Namibians. They robbed
the South Africans.
South Africans. You know what I'm saying? The Caribbean islands. Yep. Everywhere we're from, we've been taken and destroyed. So guess what? When people realize what's going on, now it's time to rise up. So it behooves them to okay, they're a barbaric people, right? So when they say, well, how can we restore this thing? Instead of saying, it is necessary for them to have the good cop, bad cop kind of thing, because the parents of the people, they did the atrocities, right? They did the murdering, the rape, and the rob, and so on and so forth. Now the kids, they don't want to change that, but they don't want to look like the parents, you know. So now, how do we continue the rape, the rob, and the murder? Right? Let's give them politics,
right? Politics, yes, sir.
You know. So now it just turns on its axis.
Yeah. Hey, play that video. That was excellent. That was a beautiful thing right there. Please play that video. All right. The sound is not there again. Okay, this is crazy.
All right,
hey, do something about that sound. Come on.
Yeah, we gotta hear that.
Yeah, we gotta see this.
I don't know what's going on there. I'm sorry, Jephtha.
Oh, it's fine.
Yes. So let's. We're gonna get into the medical part of it, but you can speak on it.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what the medical experiment. But I mean, what we have to understand, like the heroes are very. It's like all other African people. They are oral. Their stories has been orally transmitted.
Right.
And when you look at the diary of German soldier who participated in this, and when you hear the oral history, it doesn't differ much at the time. It just like the German will say like the fight started at 4 o'clock, and the hero will say like it was after the sun, almost before sunset. So the truth is always in our culture. And so what my great grandmother told her kids was like in Chuck Island, the medical experiment was so the only thing that they feared most was going to that little clinic where Dr. Fisher was. Yeah, because sometimes in one of the instances, what my grandmother told me was like they will round up those African people with if their gums were like a little bit darker,
right?
They were curious like what was all about. So they will bring them without any, scrape them until they bled, and some of the people bled to death because it was a malnutrition.
Right.
And so that was one. And then last, one of the documented act was like killing the Herero men. So they basically will almost every day they hang 2 or 10 men for some reason. And then once they hang them, kill them, they will cut their head off and give it to the women to boil and scrape them. So this is documented by the Germans themselves. So they will scrape. The women were given those head of their men who were hanged, scrape them with a bottle, glasses, and then give them to the Germans. And then from there, they took it to the Berlin, Berlin medical school or something like that, for experiments. So you have like thousands and thousands of Herero human remains in Germany, and even at New York, we found some 10 human remains of Herero and Nama and San people at the New York Museum of Natural History Museum.
Right. And
they still kept it there.
You see that? And that's what we're saying. Between them as a people, that's what they do. They operate as a unit. So, and this is what we were bringing out before in the Bible. Yeah, they might call themselves German and American and whatever else, but it's the same people. In the same New York City, right? You have downtown Manhattan. You have what's known as the African American Museum or the African American Burial Ground, right? Where they basically built skyscrapers and everything on top of the bodies of the people. But when they went to go build, they found all those bodies and they have them there, showing you like even 5-year-olds. They can tell that they worked them to death, worked them to the muscle came off of the bone. They have them and they sit them there. Right, so it's the same thing. So they said, "Oh, the Herero, bring them to New York, so we can take a look at it." Like they want, it's a sickness, right? Where they would make furniture out of their skin and bones, and and right, to go study. And this is what they did in Berlin and in other places. All right, you guys have it? Okay, we're going to play this real quick. We finally have it fixed.
Genocide and the Holocaust aren't far-fetched at all. He travels to Shark Island, which was once a notorious concentration camp. Nguherimo and Nama, who survived death in the desert, were brought here and used as slave labor.
This side is where our ancestors were kept, and the Germans set up this concentration camp, and they used to call, historians call it the death camp. My great-grandmother was at this site, and luckily she, later when the people started complaining, that she was transferred to Swakopmund.
But most of the Nguherimo and Nama who were held here didn't survive.
A lot of people perished. Death and starvation was what killed a lot of people over here, and when they die, their body were thrown in the sea.
And those who weren't worked to death were subjected to other horrors.
And this is where they did their medical experiment on the Nama and Nguherimo people. Medical experiment. Based on my grandmother, they were fascinated with some of the Nguherimo people. They have like a blood, their gums are like darker than others. So they will scrape that and scrape that until it bleeds to find out what is the cause of that. I don't know what was the whole point, but the bottom line is this was their biggest fear was to go to that medical center. They knew that once you go there, you are not going to be alive.
In that medical center, prisoners were subjected to many forms of systematic atrocities, like being injected with diseases like smallpox, typhus, and tuberculosis, or poisons like arsenic.
Right, pause.
They were also...
Pause. Right, so they were being injected, right, with all of those diseases. That's still going on today in the continent of Africa, right? We're not going to name the name of the guy who's perpetrating it because the last time we named his name, they took our video down. Okay? But his name rhymes with... All right, let me not say it. I'm not going to say it. They will take the video down. But there's an individual who's running around Africa right now, not just him, right? But there's other countries, what do you call them? The ones that's in South Africa, right? Oh my gosh.
Lesotho.
Afrikaans?
Yeah, not the Afrikaners. Where did they come from again? The Dutch. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, Netherlands.
Yes. Them and some others, right, were injecting HIV. Let me not say that. We might have to edit that, right? Into the people. This was a known thing. There's a video out about it. I think we showed it at one time, right, where the guy actually admitted what they were doing, and they were trying to kill off the population, right? They want this. They want Africa badly. If they had an opportunity, if they didn't think that everybody would turn on them, they would kill everybody on the whole continent immediately today. You know, hit play. I'm sorry, guys.
Atrocities, like being injected with diseases like smallpox, typhus, and tuberculosis, or poisons like arsenic.
They were also used as human material for eugenic research.
In order to conduct this pseudo-scientific research, German doctors sent the skulls of deceased prisoners back to Germany.
Wow. Thousands of human remains, skulls, skeletons, and so on, were transported back to the German Empire. Those human remains are in German basements of museums, of hospitals. And only in 2011, I think, for the first time, a few of them were returned to Namibia.
A few of them.
The man overseeing these inhumane practices was Dr. Eugene Fischer. He and other colonial officials
later became prominent leading figures in the race ideology of Nazi Germany.
These are our shoes.
Right. Hey, pause. We're good there. We're good. Right. So, and that's what Jephtha was just about to say. Like that was the first Auschwitz right there. All right, where they did all of those experiments. And we're just going to pull up something just for the people to see so they can actually read. Bring up number 5, brothers, right? So they can read what actually took place with these experiments. I mean, because this is insane. And we have another video that shows all of the museum actually with the skulls and everything in it. Matthias, please.
All right.
I'm sorry. Actually, let's drop that for a second. I apologize. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. Stay right there.
And while you get that,
Yes.
I want to point out that
Bring up number 10. Number 10, guys. I'm sorry. Keep number 5. We're going to go back to that in a second, but bring up number 10.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I want to bring out that instead of like the same mentality as the guy said, he don't want to waste his bullets, so let's burn them, right?
Mm.
And they don't want to waste their resources, so instead of using their weapons, let's use medicine. They'll use medicine in a form of help.
Right.
So when you look at the Native American Indians, who were peaceful with the Edomites, that's who they are, right? They were peaceful with them, and when they came over, they gave them with some blankets injected with smallpox disease, and they killed a lot of the Native Americans.
Millions. Oh man.
And this descent, and who knew that they did that in Namibia?
Right.
Now, guess what? In America, they sent medical aid out here, and they injected a lot of the Tuskegee Air people with syphilis.
Right.
So this is why we don't trust their medicine.
No.
You know, because this is a form of it's a nicer way to kill people, so people don't think that you're barbaric.
Yeah. Call it a vaccine.
In form of aid.
Right.
You know, but it's the same wickedness.
Right. Bring up number 10 real quick. Go ahead.
During the German occupation of Namibia, the German Southwest Africa, from 1884 to 1915, colonial authorities conducted unethical medical experiments on indigenous Herero and Nama people. These experiments were a part of the Herero and Namakwa genocide and were rooted in the pseudoscientific racist theories of eugenics and social Darwinism.
Right, and that's important. So when people know about eugenics, this was it right here in the flesh. All right, go ahead.
Medical experiments in concentration camps. In the aftermath of the Herero and Namakwa Rebellion, 1904 to 1908, thousands of survivors were placed in concentration camps, including the notorious camp on Shark Island. In these camps, prisoners suffered from forced labor, disease, and starvation, and became subjects for colonial doctors to conduct cruel experiments.
Right, so just scroll down. We're just going to look at a couple of things, right? Scurvy experiments, forced labor, and starvation, right? Look, stop for a second. It said they were injecting them with opium, right? Get me out of the way, please. And arsenic, right? That opium, what they were doing, trying to figure out how they could hook people on drugs and things like that. This goes into the whole drug epidemic that came on much later, right? Scroll. Right? Stop right there, right? Enabling doctors to study the effects of the human body and what? Dying of exhaustion, disease, starvation. They were having a great time, right? Now scroll down. Watch this. Experiments on mixed race children, right? So as Jephtha was bringing out, there was rape taking place, right? And some of those kids that was being born, they were killing them. But it says Fisher traveled to German Southwest Africa in 2008 to study the children of European settlers and indigenous women. He took detailed measurements and photographs to claim that mixed race children were intellectually inferior and should not be allowed to reproduce, right? And what he meant was his people shouldn't be allowed to reproduce, right? Ban on interracial marriage. Fisher's research provided pseudoscientific justification for banning mixed race marriages. And listen, I just wanted to read that because it's not the fact that they're gonna ban it. It should have been banned. Like you shouldn't have. You were a rapist.
Right.
You're a rapist. It wasn't no marriage. Okay, you had the people in fear, and it was rape and murder. That's what was going on. But look at the export of human remains. Look at that scroll. Just for anybody who wants to come and take a look at this stuff, you can actually go and read this, right? Skull collection. Look at that. Thousands of skulls sent to German medical institutions to prove racial inferiority, which was BS, right? Go ahead, scroll. Forced labor of female prisoners, okay? Captured women were forced to prepare the heads of their deceased relatives. Do you see this wicked demonic behavior? And other inmates, please, can you remove for shipment to German universities by boiling them and scraping the flesh from the skulls, right? Oh man! And now they're so-called returning the remains. We can drop this for anybody who you guys can take a look at it later. And Jephtha, so now I know we've seen another video where it said that maybe 80 skulls or 80 different remains have been sent back out of all the remains that they have. Why wouldn't they just send all of them back?
Well, they have it's very interesting. After what demands for return of human remains, then other African countries also started demanding, like the Benin bronze, and so the new former, I think this former anthropologist in Germany, they came up with what they call provenance research. And basically what it is like, okay, we know we have these human remains, we have these also artifacts, this cultural object, but not everything was stolen, but we need to study whether how those artifacts came into Germany. So before you demand, even if you identify, they have to do like 3-4 years of provenance research to justify, like, okay, this was taken by force, this was taken by, but everything in Europe was stolen.
Yes.
From Africa to Europe was stolen.
God, come on.
And so it is just one of the things that made me, I think at that point, I'm like, I'm really mad with these so-called provenance researchers, trying to justify like some objects were legitimately taken from or bought from Africa to Europe. And which are they display? Which to this day they are displaying in a museum, and it's like attract visitors, but we are not getting any benefit from that display of African artifacts, let alone Namibia. It could be all over, I mean, the Caribbean and everywhere in the world.
100%.
Take that.
100% is ridiculous. And now leading from that into what is the reason behind them wanting to kill everybody? And we discussed it earlier, but the point is, it's not just the land per se for agriculture. This is why the man you were talking to said, "Oh, I don't think that's giving back the land is going to change things right away," because he knows what's on that land. It's deeper than that.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Yeah, it's way deeper. So yeah, we want to show the people because they don't know the extent of what is inside of. Bring up number 5, guys. Now you can bring it up. Okay, we have to show this because this is what America is all about: stealing.
Right.
This is what Germany is about: stealing.
Yes.
This is what the French and it's just theft. There's nothing else, and that's why a lot of the French were being kicked out of Africa. I'm sorry, Jephtha. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. Yeah. Bring up number 5, please. Go ahead, bro.
During its occupation of what is now Namibia, the German Southwest Africa from 1884 to 1915, Germany's primary stolen mineral was diamonds. The theft of this and other resources was intrinsically linked to the genocide of the Herero and Nama peoples. Diamond theft and exploitation.
Right. Hold on. Right. So Germany's primary stolen mineral was diamonds. Okay. Now there's a huge company in South Africa called the Kimberley Diamonds. Right. The Kimberley Diamonds were actually taken from those mines in Namibia. Am I correct with that? Jeff?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a land, De Beers and Kimberley and all those guys.
Right.
Basically what happened, there was a German guy called Lutheritz. If you Google Namibia, there's a town called Lutheritz.
Yeah.
And so this German guy was sent by of course, by Berlin. And so he found this Nama chief and said, like, I want to buy a piece of land. And of course, like all Africans at the time, they said, okay, but I'm going to buy it in this, he presented like in miles, but only in the miles, like nautical miles or something like that.
Right.
Which was not equate to like less than what So he basically signed a fake contract whereby this Nama guy end up selling the entire Luther's area, which is now when you read further, is a diamond area, and so the whole area was off Namibian population, and it was exploited. It has been exploited and is still exploited by this diamond company up to this day.
Right.
And there is no go zone for the African people. And right now, as you see, there is less processing of the diamonds within Namibia. I think at a certain point they have to export it, but they are like little companies trying to process it here. But of course, like all the minerals of Namibia are just for it's extractive economy, not much of manufacturing. Yeah,
that's right. And like you brought up about the nautical miles, right? So if he's saying, let me get 1 nautical mile, really that's more in on the ground. That's more. So he might say, let me get 5 nautical miles, but that might be 7 miles actually.
Yeah,
right? Right. So
that's what they say.
Right. Trickery with more cunning. With the words and oh man. Bring that back up, please, again, brothers, because the diamonds are not the only thing. All right. Go ahead. Scroll down.
Diamond theft and exploitation. The 1908 diamond strike. While German colonists had sought minerals for years, the discovery of diamonds in 1908 proved lucrative. The German colonial corporation established a forbidden zone, a vast diamond-rich area under its control, effectively seizing the diamond wealth from Namibians.
Right. So they called it a forbidden zone, right? And meaning what? That no Namibians can be here. We're going to steal all of this for ourselves. Right.
They cannot go there.
Exactly. Right. So scroll down some more. Okay. So we know about the diamonds. Scroll. Other stolen resources. That's what we want. Okay. We got the land, the cattle. We know about that. But there's more. Scroll. It should say more. Go ahead. Scroll. Okay. Well, I think there's another one. Don't worry about it. You can drop that. Right. But what else they have there? They have uranium. Right, which
they have uranium, copper, and so many, and fishing, and one of the interesting with the diamonds is like they have. I heard this from my cousin. I mean, it's a known fact. Like they have a ship, very sophisticated, technologically advanced ship that basically sit in the sea, and just suck diamonds, and from there they go straight to Canada.
Really?
I mean, and so I mean, it's the same when you go to Namibia today. It's the coastal, western part of Namibia. You will see trucks and trucks of Chinese, either uranium or other materials, just being exported straight to the sea to China, and the Chinese bring their own workers.
Right, and they bring their own workers.
I mean, very few Namibians will be only security guy, and then they just extract without an oversight to the government. I mean, it's just a very exploitative system that is disgusting, and I mean, politically, it's just not good thing at all.
Right.
And now they have discovered oil.
Yes.
In the western part of Namibia, which is going to be a curse. And who did the exploration? Of course, the president, the late president, and one of the ministers said the oil does not belong to us, end quote. This oil did not belong to us. But I mean, I credit him because he was being truthful. Like, I mean, it's not going to come to Namibia.
Right.
It's just the oil for,
Right.
But that's what he said. The oil did not belong to us.
Right. Because they probably gave him a little bit of money, right? They took care of him, gave him a couple of billion. He could have it in his family. Yeah, because if he goes against them, then he's going to be killed, right? He's going to be killed. Yeah. So he's playing the party line. He's trying to keep his family alive. But this is what they do. They separate, right? And because they know if we fight, we cannot beat these people. They have the armies. They got the whole world behind them. And eventually the United States will come in there if it has to get to that point, right? They have all type of
Yep.
underground militaries. I mean, this is like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Bring up 11, because we were talking about China, right? So for you brothers and sisters, now China is going throughout all Africa, actually making deals with everybody, right? Kenya, Nigeria, I don't care where, they're everywhere. Do you have that number 11?
Everywhere.
Bring that up. Right. So check this out. Go ahead, read that.
China and Namibia cooperate on space technology, most notably through the China telemetry tracking and command station near Swakopmund, which began operations in 2001 to track Chinese satellites and space missions in the southern hemisphere.
Right. So they started this, right? Supposedly they're in a trade agreement, but they started this to track their own satellites. Right? Go ahead.
They have also jointly built and operate a new satellite digital receiving ground station, enhancing Namibia's capacity in remote sensing and providing technical training for Namibian engineers. This cooperation includes technical training, research, and has fostered interest in space exploration among Namibian youth.
Right, among Namibian youth, but it's going to be for China. Right? This is what we're looking at. Yeah. So this is what's going on.
There's no market for them. I mean, there's no, even if they study that, there's nothing that there's no employment for them in the space industry or anything related. So it's just like a nice statement, but there's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never met yet.
Absolutely. Right? And if you look at guys, bring up number 12, right? Bring up number 12. So it's going to talk about the trade expansion, right? Because again, going back to now Namibia's open ground, right? It's open ground to be exploited. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Actually, any country that comes in there now doing a trade agreement, it'll seem like a nice thing compared to what Germany was doing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's fake. It's not real, but it just seems nicer sounding, a trade agreement, meaning I'm going to give you something and then you get something. But like you said, it just sounds good, right? Because there's no space program in Namibia.
There's no space program in the University of Namibia or anywhere. I mean, it's like,
wow.
If you want to, this cooperation is not between the ministries of. It should be with the education system. So maybe, but I mean, not maybe, but it's just not. I don't see that in Namibia. I have been visiting, and I have been trying to find something good in terms of this international trade with, but it's not worth it.
There's nothing there.
I mean, it's Liz. I gave credit Chinese. They build roads, but they have their agenda. They have their agenda and program.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You're right about that, because that's how it looks, right? They build roads, they build the infrastructure, but they're getting a lot more, right? So, but it looks much better than what the white colonialists have done, right? This looks much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But mind you, they only build roads, especially when it's from the airport or next to the harbor. So that's very strategic.
Right.
Very strategic. Like, it's not like they can build roads anywhere. Yeah, those ones, but the major, because they focus on trade.
Right.
Like where, it's not really that.
Right. So straight from the port. So anywhere where they can.
Yeah, straight from the.
Right. Anywhere where they can get the goods to fly out and on sea.
Fly out.
Okay, this is interesting stuff. This is great. I didn't have that information. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, evil geniuses. That's real good.
Yeah.
Number 12, please, brothers, bring that up real quick. Okay, go ahead.
China and Namibia are expanding trade through increased investment, the inclusion of more Namibian products in the Chinese market, and the promotion of bilateral cooperation via events like the China-Namibia Investment and Trade Fair. Key developments include Namibia's potential to export more agricultural products like mutton and grapes to China, access to zero-tariff markets in China for African goods, and Chinese investment in various sectors such as infrastructure, mining, and technology.
Right. So let me ask you, Jephtha, I don't know if you know, but the mining that they're doing, right? and to extract the uranium and diamonds or whatever else they're looking for, copper and all the other.
Yeah, they were
right.
involved in many. Something I skipped my mind about, because there are like trucks and trucks going to that Chinese. They own their own separate. What they don't talk about, they have their own mines. Basically, they.
Yes.
What I read and heard is that they have with the agreement with Namibia, they get their own mines, and that's like their own territory. It's just
Right.
like the Chinese labor, not subjected to Namibian labor laws, and they even can chase away the Minister of Justice if they are trying to enter the premise. And they have the right. They have refused in many occasions, like you can't come here, and they don't care. So it's they own the place.
Yeah, 100%.
Economically. So yeah, Namibia is a small country. While this statement sound good that they exploit Namibia exploiting something to China, I don't know to what extent that contribute to the GDP of the country, and I think it's very little.
Right.
But of course, Chinese has big market, but we are not. Apartheid system has crippled. There are no black factories or black factories to export things to Namibia, to other countries in Namibia. It's mostly whites, or mostly we export meat and other mining. We are not involved. There's no mining ownership of black people. They don't own. We don't own mines. So I don't know what this export market is. It benefits few people with a lot of money, maybe government elites, but not much.
Well, let me say this to you. We've kept you for a while. I want to say thank you. So in regards to your quest for reparations, right? How do you see that playing out? Because I know that's a big part of the whole movement that you've set up. How far are you guys in that area?
Well, for many years, I mean, you have to understand, many years, Germany denied that they committed genocide in Namibia, but finally they acknowledge. And for many years, they have refused to say that they're going to do reparations, but they sort of agree that we are going to pay something like a development aid. And they say that it's sort of a reparation, but we don't want to name it reparations. They said that on record, because then other countries like Greece and Italy will come and claim reparation from us. And we say we don't care. But the only obstacle that we have right now is our own government, which is standing between us and Germany. They signed this so-called bilateral agreement, joint declaration about the reparation, which is not reparation. And they have been trying to buy off the chief traditional leaders so that they can accept this joint declaration, which is about development aid. And luckily, most of the chiefs said we are not going to sell the blood of our ancestors for that. And no matter how long it takes. So the movement is still going, and it's a long way to go. But hopefully another government or another leadership or new generation will emerge to hold Germany accountable. And I think the Germans at this point, they are also want to get rid of, they don't want us, they want to pay us out, but how? Or they want to get rid of this our demands, and they don't know how. And because they already committed to the Namibian government, so the struggle continues, just like the African American, all other Black people struggle, and there's always another Black person standing on your way to achieve what you want. But I'm optimistic that somehow one day a payment will be made for us to to restore our own society that has been destroyed by genocide, that is still has this genocide has an ongoing effects on our community, poverty and landlessness. And it is just, when you come to visit Namibia, I will invite your team. You will never, when you go back, you will never be the same. It's a very unequal country, very painful to see how Black people live under this condition. It's more like apartheid South Africa almost, but it's small.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like a painful. It's a real painful history to really go through, and you know, even with our little, you know, the little hour and a half we had, it just shows a lot, but you can't get the full gist of it. It's so heavy. I just want to read something. Where's that thing you had in Job?
But I'm going to.
Job
Job
20.
20.
Go ahead, Jephtha.
I'm always at the end of my discussions,
Yes.
and when we are raising this issue about the genocide, a lot of Germans and other people will say like your story is so old. It's like, why don't you just move on? It's part of history. And I say like, I wrote a poem titled "No Shame."
Right. Go ahead, please.
My story is not old. It is being told. The arrogance of victors to set the timeline. The arrogance of killers to set guidelines. My story is not history. It is about the burden of memory. It is about speaking up. I can't keep my mouth shut. My story is about my identity. It is about my misery. It is about disposition. It is about liberation. My story is righteous. It is timeless. It is extraordinary. It is revolutionary. My story is not old. It is being told now. It is timeless. I can't remain silent. So that's the struggle for us.
Oh, absolutely. You're not to remain silent at no time.
Yeah.
You know?
No time.
Go ahead. You have something?
Yeah, let me get Job 20 and 15.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 15.
Right. The same way the Lord wrote about this nation and told you how they were going to behave, he also gives you their end too. So watch this.
He hath swallowed down riches,
Uh-huh.
and he shall vomit them up again.
So anything that swallow it goes into them. So inside their nation is riches, the riches of Namibia, the riches of Africa, the riches of Cuba, everywhere. Everywhere that had minerals, they swallow it down for themselves. Read.
God shall cast them out of his belly.
But everything they swallow down, they're not going to retain it. They're going to have to spit it back up, right? Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. That which he labored for,
all the rape, rob, and murder that he's done, everything that he's done, read,
shall he restore.
He's going to have to give it back. This has to happen, right? Read on.
And shall not swallow it down.
He's not going to ingest it and keep it inside, right? The Lord said he has to give it back. Read.
According to his substance shall the restitution be.
That's reparations. Right. So guess what? We want reparations and monetary fund, but God said no. He's going to give you back all the resources, the land, the diamonds, the gold, the minerals, all of it. Everything that you don't even know he took, the Lord said he has to give it back. Read.
And he shall not rejoice therein.
He's not going to be happy with our diamonds. He's not going to name a Kelly Diamond Company when those are Botswana diamonds. And you know what I'm saying? There's no way. Read.
Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor.
So you see his he oppress and forsake the poor, right? Oppression and forsake the poor people. Read.
Because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not.
So he violently take away houses and lands which he did not build.
Right.
That's why we read earlier, say, woe to him that increases which is not his. Right. So the Lord's been talking about the same nation, and he also knows that in oppression, you're gonna make inquisitions like, well, this is not fair. We want reparations, but our reparation thought is monetary, right? Put this on your mind. In each one of the lands where we are oppressed, we are the majority. So a few things that have worked here, very few things have worked here. We tried marching. Does not work because you're talking to the people that rape, rob, murder you. We tried voting. That does not work. The only thing that we have tried that shows little glimpses of success is boycott, which involves unity, right? Solidarity, which involves unity, right? And it's not gun violence. That's not going to solve the problem because, like you said, 100 years ago, when our forefathers was fighting, we ran out of bullets,
Right.
We run out of bullets, then what? They're unified. They're manufacturing these things. We're not evil people. We're not manufacturing weapons to kill people. We want to live peaceful. But these people are doing that. So when we run out of bullets, how do we continue to fight? They are going to be able to continue the visual lie, the verbal lie of being nice people while we're shopping with them, while we're doing business with them, while we're asking from them. So we don't need to ask them anything. We are the majority. So let's say, for instance, we live here and it's 80% us, right? But they own 100% of all the stores. All the 80% have to do is not go to these stores. All we need is one store. We need one store, and we all 80% of us go to that one store. What happens to the 100% where the white people live? They starve, and now they have to show themselves the devil again. They have to do it, right?
Right. They'll start
So
to kill.
we don't need to vote. We don't need to march, and we don't need to ask them anything. Unity is the key. All right.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And that unity is based off of identity,
Mm-hmm.
because all of the stuff that we done heard throughout the history, Namibian history, right? It's all prophecy.
Yes.
Everything that God said was gonna happen to His people happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 45.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45.
Yeah.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
God said all of the curses, all of the things that happened in the Namibian history, in the American history, to His people was going to overcome them. It was going to overtake them. Go ahead. It was going to pursue them. So no matter where it happened at,
Right.
no matter where it happened at, whether if it was on the continent of Africa, America, Cuba, and the islands, go ahead.
Till thou be destroyed.
Until we be destroyed as a people. Come on.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments,
Come on.
and his statutes, which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee.
And
for
these curses shall be upon us for what?
For a sign, and for a wonder.
Come on.
And upon thy seed forever.
God said these evil things that these evil people is going to do to you, I'm allowing it to happen to you because it's going to be a sign to tell who you are,
right?
When the time comes. Guess what? The time is now. That unity stands on us and our nationality, our heritage, and our culture.
Yes.
Go to Leviticus 26, because like as we going through this history, I'm just getting angry. I'm getting mad because the same thing that happened to us here happened to our people there as well. The stealing, the robbery, the rape, the lies, the
medicine, the vaccine,
all of that,
bad education,
all of that stuff. It happened to us everywhere, just like the scripture said. It was gonna pursue us wherever we went. What pursued us everywhere we went? Leviticus 26 and 16.
Leviticus chapter 26 verse 16.
What was they gonna do? What was some of this stuff that was gonna happen to us? Go ahead.
I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
The things that these people did to us was terrible. God said He would appoint these terrible people over us to appoint to us terror. Go ahead.
Consumption.
And they consumed everything they touched, just like Officer Judah read earlier. Go ahead.
And the burning egg that shall consume the eyes.
Look, it consumed the eye. Come on.
And cause sorrow of heart.
All of this stuff caused our people sorrow of heart. We lost faith in everything that was going on. Go ahead.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
And we shall sow our seed in vain. We shall plant things in vain. Come on.
For your enemies shall eat it.
Just for another man to take it and eat it up.
Right. And
the Bible said this was going to happen to His people.
Right. And that's exactly what they did. They took the land, they grew stuff, and they ate it, but it has nothing to do with them, right? But they took everything.
Right.
And they had the Nguherimo people working the land.
Yeah.
Right? The same thing in America. They had them building everything.
Yep.
Matter of fact, a lot of the inventions and everything that were created in America was by the people.
Yep.
By the so-called, who they call today the Black Americans. right? They created these inventions, and then what happened? Because they were slaves, the patents and the credit for those things went to the slave owner.
Yep.
Right. So again, these are prophecies and things that were brought out through the Bible to our people to show who we are as a people. And before you go, Jephtha, I just want to thank you again for giving us this time, because this is a great lesson for all of us. Because I'm telling you, barely any of us knew that history.
Nobody, yeah.
If any one of us,
I didn't.
Because until I saw that doc, I had not heard of it. And this is when I say beautiful, meaning that we're able to have somebody from that line or ancestry able to speak, because you're in the fight, right? So you're able to come and speak to it, and it's great for our people to see, And before you leave us, we just want to show you something, that what we're bringing out of the scriptures, and we're showing that brothers, can you post that back up, right? That 12 tribes chart, please. Can you post it? We just had it up. Thank you. Right. So what happens here is that we're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. This is who we're reading about in the Bible, right? Which is our people, right? Which a lot of us were taken from that land and spread all over the world, right? But a lot of us were in Europe at the time. Right, we were taken from there as slaves, right? Because a lot of people think that we just were taken only from the continent of Africa, but no, we were. We had Europe, we were even in the Americas before that slave trade. Okay, and so on this list we show where we believe each of our tribes are located, right? And you would have to find within, like, we have parts of South Africa from the tribe of Simeon, and parts of Southern Africa, right? So it's not. Directly, when we say South Africa, doesn't mean just that portion of South Africa. We're talking about Southern Africa, right? And parts of the tribes. So what we're doing is, the Bible says for us to gather ourselves together, right? And so us as a people, like we were bringing out earlier, we have to gather ourselves. We have to become unified once again, and at the end of the day, we're going to escape this madness, when the Lord delivers us, But we just wanted to share this with you.
Thank you.
And say thank you again for coming on.
Man,
much appreciated.
Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
It was
yes, sir.
A beautiful thing that you came on, because like Cap said, before this, people struggle with us when we talk about our brothers over there on that side of the earth. So for our haters out there, shut the hell up.
Right. Yeah. This is real history. We're hearing it from the horse's mouth, and we have some proof to back it up, So Jephtha, much appreciated. When are you coming back stateside, man?
I should be coming in November 11th.
Okay.
Yeah,
safe travels, man. Safe travels to you.
Thank you.
And Godspeed.
Right.
And hopefully we can have you on again, man.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciated you.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir.
For the story of on behalf of my people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank
all right.
Thank
all right.
you.
Yes, sir. All right. Be safe. All right.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Another good game, man. Hit the ball. Yeah.
Man, that thing was crazy, Cap.
Yeah, man.
Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 33. This is based off of the last thing that you just said, Cap, about all of the stuff that we did. We didn't benefit off of none of it. Give me that. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 33.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 33.
Come on.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors.
The fruit of the land and all of your labors in that land, and all of the labors that you will come up with,
shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
So it's another nation going to take claim like they made it, like they did it.
Right.
And they shall benefit from your labors. Come on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed.
And you shall be only what?
Oppressed.
In Namibia, they was only oppressed. Land was taken. Resources was taken.
Right.
Everything that they, off their backs, another man ate up. Come on.
And crushed always.
We always crushed. Always crushed. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 5.
Come on.
And verse 42. Because God's judgment it's just going, it's just over and over and over and over again, just to show us who we are. And the people that say that them people are that our people over there ain't Israelites, you are dumb as hell. You stupid. You try to block the blessings from our brothers on the other side of the earth. Read that, man.
2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 42.
Come on.
And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring.
Meaning it's going to go in a circle and keep on going and keep on going. It pursued us over there and it kept going. It's pursuing us here and it's keep on going. The same thing over and over again. Come on.
Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
It's going to keep on going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. This stuff is happening to us all over the place.
Yeah.
And we can't see it. We so caught up in what the hell is going on here that we forget about our brothers over there. That's why where is that? I can't see.
It's right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
The light is in
your
the way.
light is in your eye.
That's why this is so important. This is important that Isaiah 11:11. Make sure y'all go donate, man.
Yeah.
Because our people is being forsaken over there, and we got the means to do something about it, and we gonna do something about it. We gonna gather together, O nation not desired.
Right.
Hey, give me Isaiah 60, right? Because everything that was taken, again, we going back to what we read out of Job chapter 20, right? About what? Restoration, right? But we gonna take it in blood. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be writing a check for us. None of that's gonna happen.
This is war.
Right.
Yeah.
The way it was taken.
That's right. Give me Isaiah 60 and 10. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 10. The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee.
Go ahead.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Right. That's what we read in Deuteronomy. It says what? That for in my wrath I smote thee. Right. That's when we were put under the gun. We were put under the sword. All our stuff was taken. Right. Fruits that show, or you will labor for all the stuff, but it ain't gonna be yours. Right. That was in what? That was in the Lord's wrath. But in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Look at the mercy. Go ahead.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually.
Why?
They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
Go ahead.
Bring it out.
And that their kings may be brought.
They got to bring the forces of the Gentiles. What that means, all of the riches, because it's not theirs. It's not theirs. Same thing with the brother Jephtha brought out, that in Europe everything was stolen. Everything was stolen. So when it's talking about bringing the forces of the Gentiles and all, yeah, that stuff belongs to us anyway. And some of the stuff they stole from the other nations, that's gonna come to us anyway. Right? Because they have to deliver. They have to bring that back. That's why the Lord is not into reparation. Because what reparations can they give to the people of Namibia? They're stealing uranium. You know how much uranium is worth? If they cut in the Namibians in all of their uranium, copper, the agriculture, all of the diamonds they've been stealing for 100 years. Y'all got to understand something. There's a diamond mine over there, right, where they got the Kimberley diamonds from, right, which is so deep, and it was dug by hand. Listen, this mine is still producing diamonds as if it was back in 1908. Damn. It's not like they got to the bottom of it. There's no getting to the bottom of it. The continent of Africa is just producing this stuff. It's just producing it. There's no running out of gold. There's no running out of uranium. No. There's no running out of nothing. It's happening. It's happening, right? And go ahead. Read verse 12.
Verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Y'all see that? For the nation and kingdom that will not serve you will perish. Go ahead.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So they got to bring it all back. The same reason how all of the nations, we talking about Namibia today, the same reason that they giving it up, and people might say, well, how come they don't fight? Fight what? They can't fight because they'll be utterly wasted. That's why the Lord said, I'm just going to turn everything back the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
They're going to have to bring, like how Namibia got to give it up. They got the gun. Give me everything you got. They're like, all right, here you go. Here you go. It's going to be the same thing going back the other way.
Yep.
It's going to be good and terrible.
It's going to be good and terrible.
It's going to be good and terrible.
Deuteronomy 30 and verse 1. Captain said it. We got to get it. It's gonna be turned back the other way. Everything is gonna be turned right side up again. But it takes one act from a certain malicious people to make it happen. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
Come on.
Whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee.
Come on.
And shall return unto the Lord thy God.
You got to return back to your heritage, your culture, your nationality. Come on.
And shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. That thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity.
And then that's when the rabbit is going to have the gun. Once you come back to your nationality, your culture, and your heritage, it's going to be mighty fun because the rabbit going to have the gun. He's going to turn the captivity. You're going to have to give all that back up. We're going to re-rob you.
Yeah.
I like that.
I gotta show y'all this real quick. Right? So go to number 14, right? Go to number 14 and go to about 11 minutes. All right, y'all got to see something. All right, video number 14 and go to 11 minutes. I think it should be right around there, right? Because when we talk about diamonds, sometimes you don't understand the depth of it. Right? Because you might be thinking about, matter of fact, not only that, but during this diamond heist that they've been doing for the last 100 years, that's how you get the diamond ring, the engagement ring, and all of y'all who's in the world, and y'all brothers who these women got y'all under pressure. Oh, I need a certain level of carats of diamond rings. Yeah. That got started then. Yeah. They had so much diamonds that they created a market for the diamond ring. That's how all that started, from this right here in Namibia. Everything has a track record. Everything has a starting point. So now you got that whole diamond market that was established. I'm talking about in regards to wedding rings through this right here, the exploitation of Namibia, right? And now we running around. You know how many brothers wound up not getting married because they couldn't they couldn't afford the right ring. Yep. I'm not talking about within our thing. I'm not talking about when you in the truth and you know who you are as an Israelite. No, we talking about out there when you still living that American life or so-called European life. And everything was what? Based upon this theft right here. Y'all got what we got? Y'all got what we want? Bring that thing up. Y'all got it? No sound again. God. Yeah, I don't know what they doing back there, man. The same thing with the what you call it? Birthstones. Yeah. Right? Birthstones got started from what? The ephod.
Right.
With the 12 tribes of Israel stones in them.
Yeah.
Right? And Amalek went and said, oh, you know what? We need to make some money off of this. Let's call it birthstones. That was in the 1800s. And now all of y'all is running around like this is from the beginning of time. Well, God gave me the amethyst, the amethyst for my stone. No. Amalek gave it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Amalek gave you that. And now you running around following horoscopes and doing all type of garbage. That's why the Lord said, don't do none of them things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't do none of them things because that just got, those are new things. Remember this, in the scriptures say newly, gods that newly came up.
Rose up. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to tell y'all. Just keep the commandments and live. It's
Right.
easy. It's easy. Don't get into all the new BS and all that. You want to get married? There's a way to get married in the Bible. Got nothing to do with engagement rings and none of that. You ain't seen none of that in the Bible.
Yeah.
None of it. Y'all got it? Oh my God.
Good
Yeah.
God.
That's
You-
like
oh.
that's what
Yeah.
like Revelation 18:12 talks about all those gold and diamonds and resources that they stole. It's the same thing.
Right. Go ahead, read it.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Mm-hmm.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Right.
The merchandise of gold and silver
Mhm.
and precious stones.
Right.
And of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Damn.
That's all the markets that they got on lock.
No, for real. That's all their markets.
Yep.
And that was the markets they had in Namibia.
Yeah.
Literally.
All of them.
All of them. The food, all of the precious metals, the exotic stones, the souls of men, all of that. You got to pay for that, Esau.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that. There's no getting around it, and you know that.
A few Namibians who even.
Y'all got it or no? All right, go ahead. Play that thing real quick. People got to see this.
And for which Germany agreed to pay more than 1 billion euros in reparations. It turned out in 1908, however, that the Germans had been right about their diamond hunch in the territory all along. The Namib Desert was absolutely loaded with diamonds, but not in the way that people thought. They weren't found underground like they were in Kimberley in South Africa, but within the shifting sands of the Namib Desert's dunes and across the beach near the town of Lüderitz. As it would later be revealed, while the Skeleton Coast may be in all...
Pause. Right, so they said the Kimberley was actually in South Africa, right? So I might have been wrong about that, but Kimberley, that company got involved with this situation right here, right? So I want to make sure I clear that up, right? Because I just heard him say something, but we can go look into it further. But anyway, it wasn't like how it was in South Africa. He's going to explain where the diamonds are found here in Namibia. Go ahead.
Kimberley in South Africa, but within the shifting sands of the Namib Desert's dunes and across the beach near the town of Lüderitz.
Right. So,
as it would later
hold on,
be
y'all.
revealed.
So the diamonds were found in the sand. The diamonds are being found in those desert sands that we were looking at and along the coast of Namibia, which they said is very dangerous for most ships to dock in. They can't even come in there. The whole coast is like barren. But remember, that's what they're telling us, right? Hit play.
While the Skeleton Coast may be an almost completely barren wasteland on the surface, its shoreline is also covered in diamonds.
Damn.
The diamonds likely all originated back in the high plateau of central South Africa, hundreds of kilometers to the east. But over tens of millions of years of geologic time, these diamonds would gradually trickle into the Orange River and flow down into the Atlantic Ocean, where the Benguela Current would take them up and deposit them all along the Namib Desert's coastline.
So Esau again with the man just lies.
Yes.
He's saying that the diamonds started in South Africa and then millions of years ago, then the waters brought them into the No, that's the way the Lord designed it. What are we talking about right now?
And you weren't even there millions of years ago.
These niggas, they just be lying like crazy, bro. It's so annoying that this man is a demon, bro.
They just make things up. And because people see them as Jesus, they believe them.
Yeah. No, for real. Just like you had the Rockefellers talking about back in the days with fossil fuel. I asked people about that. I said, y'all remember when they used to teach that in school, fossil fuel? I remember being a little kid. And I said, what is fossil fuel? Oh, yeah, that's when the dinosaurs' bones turned into oil, and that's what the oil that we're using today. I must have been like 7. And I was like, that don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense.
I said, how many dinosaurs is there?
It was that many dinosaurs?
What, the whole earth is made out of dinosaurs? I was like 7, 8 years old, bro. You couldn't even fool me then. I became a grown man and something went through my mind. And I was like, I said, I remember this fossil fuel thing. Let me look that up. I looked up fossil fuel. You know what it said? That the Rockefellers put out that lie so that they will have a lock on oil and people would have to depend on oil. But somehow the whole world was expecting. I'm telling y'all, I was like 7, 8 years old. I'm telling you. And I heard it and I knew it made no sense.
Yeah.
But everybody accepts this garbage. And the same thing with this damn demon coming and talking about diamonds had flowed downstream and went into the coast of. Listen, man. Listen.
And then lodge yourself into the earth.
Oh my God. Disgusting. Yeah, go ahead.
Or on the shallow ocean floor directly adjacent to it. The Germans gradually figured this all out, and they transformed Namibia into their prime diamond-producing colony right before World War I began, where the South Africans invaded and occupied the whole thing. Namibia would be occupied by the apartheid regime in South Africa for the next 75 years, and would only achieve total independence in 1990. Thus making it the final country in Africa to ever become an independent nation from the era of colonialism. It was relatively easy for the South Africans to occupy and control Namibia because, for all of its geographic reasons I explained, there was hardly anybody ever there. By 1990, Namibia's population was only about 1.4 million people, while South Africa's was 37 million. White South Africans who ruled and dominated the country.
We good on that. We good on that, right? just pause that for a second, because we're gonna still play with that video a little bit, right? But the point of what he's trying to say now that no one has inhabited that area, so that means that the Germans have right to it. He's not saying it.
Shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not actually saying it, but he's saying it.
Yeah, he's saying it.
Yeah, he's saying it. Once he started talking about something came from South Africa, that's what he's trying to say, that it didn't belong to anybody. It was really in South Africa.
Yeah.
And now it's in the coast. So whoever goes into the water, then that means Namibia doesn't own what's in the water, right? That's leading into what? The oil discovery, right? Because Namibia was probably one of the only countries out there that didn't produce oil. And they were trying to figure out that's impossible, because everywhere in Africa is oil, diamonds, copper. I mean, everything on earth that you can find in Africa, you can't find nowhere else on planet Earth, right?
Man, they be lying, man.
Yeah, they love lies. They love it
to
so,
lie.
right? They love it so, right? But if you go, hey, brothers, try to find it. When you go later in the video, it talks about the oil that they found. Y'all look for that while we talk amongst ourselves. You know what I mean?
Hey, Cap, that's how they be justifying it. They're like, millions of years ago, before we conquered South Africa, our diamonds came upstream.
Right.
So we need that. Like, bro, what?
Yeah. No, real talk.
Bro, what?
Yeah. They like before those diamonds were in the hands, they were never Namibians.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't know what to do with it. We had to help them out.
That's like on the video, he said, this is Namibia's land, but 100 years prior, it wasn't, according to the knowledge I got.
Right.
And that was a quick little lie he established to justify him to go over there and have that land.
Exactly. And people listen to this and think to themselves, you know what? He's probably right. 100 years ago, they weren't even thinking about that land.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the Germans just come in and be their neighbors? Because they was never there to be their neighbors.
Right.
They were there to spy out their liberty, so to speak, right? And then put them to death, right? Because how come they didn't say, hey, listen, we just found some diamonds here, man. I know y'all not big on it because diamonds are nothing to you guys, because you got so much of the stuff you don't care, right? Same thing like when they went to Puerto Rico, the land of Borinquen, right, with the tribe of Ephraim. They got there, and they had gems and everything all over the beach. People had it sewed into their garments. They were like, oh, my God. They went crazy. Start killing everybody.
Yeah.
The natural-born killer.
Yeah.
And he even had that. He had that in his poem. He didn't say natural-born killer, but he talked about the killers.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Y'all got it? Please, go ahead. This stuff is crazy, man. And this is just one country. We just only talking about Namibia, right? Yeah. And Namibia has only, and believe it or not, as big as Namibia is, Namibia only has about 3 million people living in it, right? Because a lot of places in Namibia, what you would call, I guess, well, I don't know if you want to call it uninhabitable, but there's a little bit harsher conditions. Yeah. That doesn't mean that don't belong to the Namibians. This don't make no sense.
Right.
This makes no sense whatsoever. That's like you not wanting to live in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Okay, all right. Let me stop talking. Go ahead.
Recoverable oil. That's a lot
Take it back
of oil.
a little,
They
y'all.
discovered
They
made the discovery of a lifetime. In
Oh.
an area known as the Orange Basin within Namibia's EEZ, just beyond the mouth of the Orange River, they discovered an offshore field that, according to some analysts, could contain up to 11 billion barrels of recoverable oil. That's a lot of oil, and if it's true, it would in the blink of an eye suddenly transform Namibia from a country that has never produced any oil at all into being one of the top 20 globally by reserves and the third largest in sub-Saharan Africa. Roughly on a par with the reserves found in neighboring Angola, whose own production is nearly equivalent to Africa's top #1 oil producer, Nigeria. Shell, Total, and Namibia have each announced plans to begin oil production within 4 years by 2026. And if their production volumes can reach up to near the 1.2 million barrels a day that Angola currently achieves, it could become very bad news for countries like Russia, who's been attempting to hold the European Union hostage by withdrawing its own energy supplies. Namibian oil is potentially so vast that it could end up substituting more than half of the entire oil supply that the Russians were exporting to the European Union. and it all just suddenly got added to the world's known supply.
Wow.
Namibia may end up becoming invited to join OPEC as a result, alongside other oil-rich African states like Angola, Nigeria, and Equatorial Guinea. Namibian government officials have projected that this once-in-a-lifetime oil and gas discovery could end up doubling the entire Namibian GDP by as soon as 2040, and create tons of high-paying jobs for Namibians.
Stop.
But it's not without...
Stop.
Yeah, that's
They said they're going to create tons of high-paying jobs for Namibians. What are we talking about
Lie.
right now?
Hey, did you notice that it came through that same river that they said
Yes.
the diamonds came through?
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. They just lying. Oil, diamonds, everything comes from the river.
Yo.
And the Orange River sends it all down to us. We just happen to be there minding our business, and we've got it all.
Yo.
And now they're going to pay. What's a high-paying salary? What's that? Let's say $250,000, right? But we know they're not saying that. Let's just say $250,000 US, right? You mean to tell me that you're going to pay a few people $250,000 when everything you've been stealing for the last 100 years?
100 plus.
In 20 years plus? Damn. Close to 125? Yo, this is some demonic. Yo, I'm telling you, when the Lord show up, they got to go. They have to go, man.
Who's gonna be the owners of those jobs?
Pull up on me.
It's not gonna be the. It's not gonna be the Namibians. Not gonna be owning those companies.
No.
They're gonna be owning those companies,
Yes.
paying them pennies on the dollar of what they're making from that oil.
But that's what Jephtha said. Jephtha said that the president of the company of the country came out and said that the oil doesn't belong to Namibia. How? How doesn't the oil belong to you? Because Esau said so.
Yep.
Esau said, no, you ain't getting it.
You're not getting that.
Yo, give me that thing in Obadiah, man, when Esau's gone.
This travel from South Africa, where we at, and up the Orange River.
Right.
So this is ours.
Right. Right. Just get to the point, because they gotta get up out of here, man.
Yeah, they gotta go, bro.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 17.
Come on.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Right, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, which belong to us from the beginning. That's what the Lord trying to tell you. Go ahead.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
Right, Judah shall be a fire. Go ahead.
And the house of Joseph a flame.
And Ephraim shall be a flame. Go ahead.
And the house of Esau for stubble.
I mean, they're going to get burnt the hell up. Go ahead.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
Go ahead.
And there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken it.
For the Lord has spoken it, because they gotta go. They gotta go. It's too much. See, we didn't even really get it, because just imagine Namibia with just that little amount of people, 3 million people. But we talking about Nigeria, we talking about Ghana, we talking about Sierra Leone, we talking about Liberia, we talking about Mali, right? Mali. We talking about Kenya. DRC, was that Democratic Republic of Congo? All right, we talking about the whole. And listen, this thing, they got it on lock, on super lock. Everything that comes out of Africa, the people who, they got some of the brothers who own the mines. You do have some, right? But again, they got to cut a serious deal. They can't just eat. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time we went to San Diego. And we had that, there was a blitz down there. I think it was the Chicano Park.
Right.
And the Edomite was out there. He started talking with us and all that and talking about, yeah, you know, I own a mine in Africa. I said, you own a mine in Africa? What kind of mine? He said, gold. I said, oh, so you're a thief? He said, I'm a thief. I said, yeah, you're a thief. He was like, wait a minute. No, I said, I own a mine. I said, yeah, you're a thief.
Right.
I told him straight to his face, how your white ass going to wind up getting a mine out of Africa unless you ain't steal it and kill to go get it? How? Well, you know, that's the way you're looking at it. But, you know, I have people there and my people have been there and this and that. I said, yo, my man, you just told me he was Italian.
Stealing.
Finish him.
He told me he was Italian. I said, you just said your people was from Italy. And now you're saying that you got, who you got in I forgot what he told me he had. It was on the West Coast. I said, who you got over there? Oh, well, you know, my friends that I met there. I said, oh, so they work for you? Yeah. So they slaves. He was like, come on, hey, this is ridiculous. You're calling me a thief. You're calling me a slave owner. What's going on here? I said, you know what's going on here. You walking up to us with purple shirts on, purple and gold, and think you're going to have some kind of conversation like this? Like you just going to tell us that you own a mine and you, no, you a thief. You a thief. We going to let you know, bro. This is Israel United in Christ, man.
The wicked got to be revealed.
Yeah, the wicked will be revealed, bro. Period. We going to tell you who you are.
Right.
Right.
Where you come from.
Yeah.
What you been doing.
Yeah. Just like we tell our people who we are as a people, we going to tell you who you are as a people.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why the people hate us. They mad. That's the only reason why they mad, because we have to let the people know who they are as well. In learning that you're an Israelite, you're going to know who your enemy is.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they're able to come and talk to us at camp. White people, we don't turn away, oh, no, we can't talk to them. No, we don't do that, because what sense does that make? They don't kind of do. We're going to show you what this Bible is talking about. But don't ever come to us talking about, oh, I got a mind and like you down with us. And I speak fluent Swahili. I said, I don't give a damn what you speak.
Yeah.
You speak fluent theft
Yeah.
and larceny.
Your surname is Ben Stiller. Yeah. You been stealing. You a son
You
of a
been
thief.
stealing.
You a son of a thief. Yeah. White boy been stealing.
Yo, been stealing. Yo.
Ben Stiller.
Yo, listen. No, for real. Hey, listen.
Come on.
You feel like these type of shows, you don't want it to end, but I know we got to bring it to an end. We passed the 2-hour mark, but I just want to bring something out, right? Because earlier, when we read in Habakkuk 2, when Officer Judah was bringing out Habakkuk 2, and how the white man was just stealing and stealing, Esau just stealing, right? And what? Everything he touched, you know what I'm saying? It just goes bad, because that's who he is, right? Give me Revelation 6 and 8. Can't never forget about this.
Let's go. Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
Right, and hell followed with him, right? Meaning what? Captivity followed with him. All type of, everything evil followed with this man, because this is what this man is about, right? Everywhere he goes, it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Judgment like a rain.
Right. Go ahead, finish that up.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
Right here is talking about the fourth part. This is dealing with America at this time, in the Americas, the Western Hemisphere, right? But we know that Esau got power all over the whole earth. This particular verse is talking about America specifically, right? Go ahead.
To kill with the sword, and with hunger,
Go ahead.
and with death,
Right.
and with the beasts of the earth.
Right. Creating what? All type of vaccines with zoonosis and all this madness. And clearly they doing that in Africa as well, right? But this is what we talking about, y'all, right? We seen it. Today was a amazing show, and just that information alone, and it's just incredible stuff, man. It's incredible stuff. But all praise to the Lord. You know what I mean? Our brother Jephtha came on, and if y'all got time, y'all can look into that documentary that we showed. It's not long. It's maybe a half an hour. Not too long, but it's good information, and whatever. Just keep studying, and these are things that in your growth, right, in your spiritual growth, you have to have understanding of history like this, right? So therefore, you're gonna know who your people are. That's how we know. If you don't pay attention to what's going on in the earth, you're not gonna know who your people are. And this is what we were talking about earlier, where Officer Shem was saying a lot of people don't know. Oh yeah, the Israelites are in Africa,
right?
Okay, this is not some thought process. Well, they're the African. No, they are Hamites. They're and they're Shemites, right? You might not be able to tell off just a look. Sometimes you can see, like if you go to certain places on West Coast of Africa, I mean, they just looking exactly like us. I mean, you got that, but then you got some other ones, right?
Yeah.
Or they had other. Remember, our people was dealing with all type of different what do you call it? Religion and you know what I mean? So we got lost out there, right? But all praise to the Lord. We're gonna see what it is. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gonna bring back his people.
That's right.
But oh yeah. All right, the Booster Club, right? The Booster Club, Isaiah 11:11 project, all right? This is what it is, all right? And y'all know what we've been doing. We've been all over the earth, right? Bringing our people back, especially in the continent of Africa, all right? We everywhere over there. Kenya, y'all brothers chime in. Nigeria, Ghana.
South Africa.
Congo. What else? I'm missing some.
Kenya.
We all over there, man.
Right? But we all up in there.
Yeah.
Right? IUIC. All right, IUIC, help us, and not just there, but we on that today because of Namibia, right? But also in Europe, where our people is at. Where we had our sister on last week, right? Dr. Marie Charles, showing you how people were native to those lands, right?
Yep.
Meaning what? We established those lands and those names and stuff. Listen, y'all, this is great stuff.
Yep.
This is great stuff.
Then another man came and ate it up.
Man.
Right, exactly. In all those lands, right? We set up, think about it, in Spain, like you just brought another man came and eat it up. You see a lot of Spanish so-called architecture and things like that. That was our people who did that. And they held on to it and they built on top of what we did. You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, y'all, this is important stuff for us to know, right? On a level to help us spiritually, right? Stay in that Bible, learn. Hey, listen, we're gonna keep going, man. This is crazy. Hey, listen, we'll just keep sitting here. Hey, bring up the thumbnail for next week. Oh, sorry, I apologize. And don't forget to donate to the Nehemiah Squad. Right, here goes our QR code. Save a couple of dollars for us. You know what I mean? Yeah, I used to say pennies. Now I'm saying dollars. Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
Gotta upgrade.
Yeah, we gotta upgrade. We bringing y'all some great guests. Stop playing with us.
Yeah.
All right. IUIC.norcal at IsraelUnite.org. All right. All praises. All right. Okay. Okay. So next week, I don't know why does it say November 11th? That's wrong. Actually, it's supposed to say November 3rd, right? Don't worry about it. No problem. Y'all got a wrong date. But November 3rd, y'all, this next coming Monday, right? So don't get thrown off by that. And the reason, well, let me just say this. The reason it's going to be the 3rd and the 11th, right? I believe, I got the dates off. Something's wrong. Either the 4th and the 11th, something like that. Whatever that is. I think y'all messed up on them dates totally. I think Sunday is the 2nd. The 3rd is Monday, and then that following Monday is the 10th, right? Y'all are twisted. Okay. Yo, they crazy as hell. Hey, family, don't look at that date at all. All right? So
powerful niggardry at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. All right? So Monday the 3rd, okay? And the 10th. All right, I know y'all may be saying, damn, and the 10th? Yes. The 3rd and the 10th, we're going to have 2 guests on with this transgender business, okay? Now, this one, on this coming Monday, is going to be Jaquavia Youngblood. She was born as a female, changed into a male, and then came back to a female.
Oh,
all right? So we're going to deal with the sister. And then the following week, because we didn't want to bring them on at the same time because there's 2 separate situations going on. Then the following week, we got a brother coming on who transgendered into a female and then back to a male, right? So we got some heavy stuff for y'all. We got heavy stuff for y'all. And the reason we separated and we didn't bring them on at the same time because there's 2 different mindsets and all of that. And remember, it's a lot to go into this. Pharmaceuticals, things that went on in their lives, all of that. So we couldn't bring them on at the same time or else we would have, right? But the bottom line is this one is called Detransitioning, Leaving the Trans Life Behind.
Yes.
Right? And this is what we've been talking about. We want to talk to people like this because what? This is what the Lord is calling for people to get out of that sin, no matter what it is, whether that's trans, whether you damn drug dealer, whether you whatever type of garbage you got going on, some wild adult or whatever you got going on, you gotta leave the foolishness behind, right? And this is heavy because usually when you go that route, the Lord just give you up to your vile affection, right? But guess what? Sometimes you're gonna come back, right? So all praises to the Lord. Monday, November the 3rd, not November 11th. Don't look at that. November the 3rd, right? Which is the next Monday coming. We're gonna have detransitioning, leaving the trans life behind. Heavy stuff coming, y'all. Heavy stuff coming.
That's IT mess up, right?
Yeah. Well, with thumbnail team, I don't know. Maybe
same department.
They supposed to see that.
Y'all just bought yourselves into our outro.
Yeah. Give it to them. Yeah, give it to them. They did a decent job up all the way until the end. So somebody got to get it. We're gonna give it to Yohana Time, man, because he's over it. Yeah, even though the sis created the thumbnail, he should have caught that. You know what I mean? He ain't had nothing else going on. He couldn't even.
He had nothing else going on.
Yeah, nothing else going on. He like, oh yeah, that looked like it.
Yeah, he said that's the one.
Yeah, and he sent it to me to look over. I'm looking at the art. I'm like, yeah, that's good. So now he wanted, because in his mind, no, but I sent it to you. Get your ass out of here. Give a damn what you sent me.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Officer Shib, take us out.
Come on, man, get it.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Oh, man, if you do it again, we got to lay hands on you. If you don't donate to the Booster Club, we got to lay hands on you. IT keep on messing up, y'all. We got to lay hands on him. Oh, yeah. And if Mr. Rogers think he going to come in and be our neighbor continually, we got to lay hands on you. Right, this is the Nehemiah Squad. We are your hosts. I'm Officer Shim. That's Captain Zakai. That's Officer Judah.
Yep.
We out.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Most High Christ bless y'all. Shalom.
Hit the bomb!
Cheer.
Come on, brother!